Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and perfectly in keeping with the theme of this channel, it's time to talk about some more paranormal stories. Well, one specifically, and it probably wasn't and probably had some kind of explanation. I was mostly just watching the Boo Review's latest video, and it inspired me to remember something that I completely forgot to mention in the other videos about how unbelievably weird things are at my apartment. But you may recall that I also said that the day or the day after, one of the two, it was like the first week that we moved into our new house back when I lived with my parents a long time ago. It was like 13 years ago. This big sheet of glass that we used as like a shelf to hold like flowers as a decoration up in our bathroom just came flying off the wall. It fell like 2 feet and flew like 8 horizontal, which how the hell does that happen even if it, fell, and just hit me in the shoulder and shattered. Now, my shoulder muscles are basically solid granite, so that makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is how a big, heavy, couple pound sheet of glass can just come flying off the wall. Now, we had just put it up, but still, how does it, the whole rise over run slope calculation, how does it travel 8 feet horizontally and 2 feet down? So that is single-handedly the strangest, most unexplainable thing that's ever happened to me. But there was one other ongoing, recurring occurrence, I guess you would say, at that same exact house, which by the way was built. We had it built custom, so wasn't exactly old. But we'd be in the basement, because we had a like half finished basement or whatever, carpet and then ceiling and furniture. And we'd be watching a movie or watching TV or whatever, and maybe my parents wouldn't be home, and all of a sudden we hear the door to the garage open. I'm like, oh, cool. Mom and dad are home, whatever. And like, if me and my brother were down there, we'd both hear it. If I was down there alone, I'd hear it. And, the first couple times I'd be like, oh, there's something I wanted to tell them or ask them, or, what's our plans for tomorrow or what's for dinner or whatever. Or just run up and say hi because I'm bored or just whatever. So I'd be like, oh, cool, they're home. I would say about half the time, if not more, that we heard clear as day the door opening to the garage, it would be nothing. I mean, I'd be so convinced that I'd run all the way up the stairs instantly and be like, okay, where'd they go? Shout through the house, hey, hello, welcome back. What the hell? Is anybody here? And then I'd look out in the garage. I thought, okay, maybe they dropped off like one bag of groceries, went out and got the other. They're in there. Nope. Garage door's not open. Nobody's there. Garage is locked, everything. But I mean, it's like an outdoor facing door. It's got like, the little weather seal stuff on it. So it's like a whooshing noise. It's very distinct. Doesn't sound like anything else. It's rather loud. And it was exactly right by the door to the basement. So then you got like the, concrete-ish walls. There was plaster on them or something. I don't know. And those carry sound perfectly. So it would be like a direct tunnel straight into your ear, basically. And it was loud. This wasn't just like, oh, I think I faintly hear a door opening. No, it's like, whoosh. It's like, okay, well, they're home. But yeah, like I said, half the time or more, it would just be nothing. I don't know what it was. I have no explanation. It would be the sound of the door opening to the garage. And no matter how fast you bolt up the stairs, because it kept happening. Like, we're talking once a week, like at least, if not like once a day. So I would run up the stairs as fast as humanly possible and look for anything moving or like if somebody's creeping in, our garage and trying to break in and then notices the lights are on, but like 50 times. I mean, I don't know what it was. I just wanted to see what it was and catch something. So one time I made it up the stairs like 7 seconds after I heard it. Nothing moving, nothing in the garage, no animals at the window or no wind, no, it wasn't on a stormy day. It's not raining. I mean, you could rule out anything, even the weirdest of the weird explanations, but this was such an unbelievably distinct, unique noise. I just can't even explain it. So that in itself is not weird. I never like, oh my God, saw a ghost or something. I still think that's a load of crap, but it's paranormal in the very literal definition where it's, well, it's not like, oh, there's quantum energy and this, that, a different dimension is opening up in the garage. No, I mean, it's just weird. It defies normal logical explanation. So I'm sure there was a logical explanation, but we never figured out what it was. Could never figure out what would be replicating that sound at that exact decibel level to the point where it would fool everybody. And let me just add this, it wasn't just me. Like I said, if me and my brother were down there, we'd both hear it. We'd look up and we'd be like, oh, they're home. And then usually after we got wise to it, after, a while, we're like, they're home, maybe. One time it happened twice because we were actually waiting for them because the second they stopped home, we had to leave somewhere. So we ran up the stairs. Oh, no, they're not here. I could have sworn I heard the door. Go back down 30 minutes later, hear it again. Go back up. They're still not home. And then when they actually got home, we're like, I hope it's them this time. But then we heard them like taking off their shoes and stuff. So we're like, okay, exact same noise. I mean, indistinguishable. How weird is that? Like, it's so random and so not, ooh, it's creepy and ooh, it's the ghost of my dead grandma. No, it's like, it's just a damn door. It's just a sound. That's all there was to it. So it's just unusual. I wouldn't say it's creepy and supernatural. It's just weird. It's just extremely, inexplicably weird. So we never figured out what it was. My dad said he was in the basement. He heard the noise and thought, oh, somebody's home, mom's home, Des is home, whatever. And my mom said she heard it. My brother heard it. I heard it. That's all that lived there. So, yeah, we didn't have a dog. Never have. I'm allergic. I still freaking love dogs, but, we wouldn't actually have one. So, yeah, just no explanation. I looked around. I couldn't figure it out. The door latch was working perfectly. The door wasn't, opening and closing on its own, I guess, although we never set up a video camera to see if that's what the sound was. And actually nobody cared enough to actually set up a camera, because I certainly had one, and just leave it on record for 8 hours straight, and then just try to catch something moving or something making the sound, or maybe use a stereo microphone to get a directionality or something. If I cared enough, I would have done it. I think next time I talk to my parents, I'll ask them if it still happens now that we don't live there. Oh, by the way, my best theory, this one's the most reasonable, but out there, it had something to do with the HVAC system, the air conditioning or the heating, just maybe a vent opening, and it just by sheer coincidence sounds the same or something. I have no idea. So, fun bonus story here. I was playing Pokemon Go in all different areas. We've been driving around a little bit further lately to get to nests and stuff. So we went to this area where we're like, okay, it's a cemetery. I'm not sure if they want us inside of here, but it's also been a year. There was quite a few other people there. There was people jogging and riding their bicycles through the cemetery. Basically, there's paths and stuff, but come on, they're treating it like it's a park. I mean, it was very strange. And you can give them BS little, oh, I'm celebrating life and I don't find death depressing. What? No, they just want to live across from a park and this was cheaper. Trust me, the real estate price from being across from a cemetery, not quite the same as being across from a park. So guess what? Now it's a park. I saw a no dog sign though, probably because dogs would probably pee on the graves. And that's kind of a thing. I don't know if that's just an American thing or if that's in general, but the whole I'm going to go piss on your grave, that's kind of a deep insult. Also, they might dig up the bodies, but that, I don't know, 6 feet down, I don't know. What owner would not notice? They're oh, they're digging up another body, whoops. Anyway, getting off track. So this one guy, he was oh, no, I don't go in there. Cemeteries creep me out. I'm it's noon. The sun's directly overhead. I could see not going into a cemetery at night, except me personally, I wouldn't give a crap. But he's just yeah, I don't go near it. It freaks me out. I'm okay, that's pathetic. The guy was older than I was. And plus, there was some good Pokemon in there. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. It's a damn good spot. I could see why there was people there. And like I said, the game's been out for a year. If they wanted to remove the Pokestops, they would have filed it. I heard that you can get them removed in under 24 hours if you write into the complaint department thing. If it's on your property, they don't want to get sued because they already did multiple times. They will remove that thing so damn quick. So besides catching some epic Pokemon, I think I actually saw a wild Vaporeon. That's a thing that can happen. And a Scyther. Apparently I should go back to that cemetery, but it is rather far away, unfortunately. But I figured we got to take a very super scientific survey down in the comment section. Do you have a problem with cemeteries? Did they creep you out? Let's split it into day and night. Now, me personally, I don't know what it is about me, but I don't want to walk anywhere by myself at night, really, because I'll just be a little bit on edge, and that's just natural. It's it's dark, you can see less, and that comes from, oh my god, I might get attacked by a wolf, or I don't have full peripheral vision. You should naturally have a very slightly higher anxiety level in the dark. That's just how the human brain is supposed to be wired. But then again, there's people who aren't afraid of heights at all. I have absolutely no fear of snakes whatsoever. Don't know why. The spiders, that's a different story. I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody's brain's wired differently. Whatever. I also have absolutely no fear of public speaking. That is virtually impossible for that to happen. That's like the number 3 fear or something. But as far as walking through a graveyard versus walking down like some street downtown, I don't care. So here's the thing. I approach everything pretty logically, and when your anxiety level starts getting high enough, you start to see things that aren't there, which I think is responsible for 99.99999% of all paranormal sightings and all this other nonsense. So yeah, if you freak yourself out enough, you're probably going to see something, running between the headstones or something or whatever. And it's not really there. I mean, they proved this somewhat recently, that you can cause your own auditory and visual hallucinations under those circumstances. They actually did it in like a controlled environment and everything. They proved it. So it was like 100% of people too. So I mean, ruling out the fact that cemeteries close at night and I'm probably making YouTube videos or sleeping, yeah, I'd go through a cemetery. I don't give a crap. Like if somebody was holding a perfectly authorized Magic the Gathering tournament in the middle of a cemetery at 2 a.m, I'd probably go. Dude, or like frickin' nighttime cemetery paintball. That would be the coolest thing ever, and quite possibly the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard of, but it's just a theoretical example. But I just thought it was hilarious that somebody didn't want to go through a graveyard like during the day. And so naturally, being the snarky, comedian that I am, I told him, statistically, like historically, if you take all the crime reports, all like the FBI statistics, health reports, everything, all things considered, you should really be more afraid of living people. You are statistically, this is statistically proven, more likely to get attacked by a living person than a dead person. Hell, you're probably more likely to get attacked by a real live Pokemon while playing Pokemon Go, or a squirrel, like, let's be reasonable here, or struck by lightning or something, than attacked by a skeleton or a ghost or a zombie, because, yeah, you don't hear about that much in the news. Everybody thinks it's going to happen and everybody thinks they see something, but how many people are like, yep, another ghost attack in the cemetery? In fact, in all of human history, I would bet the count is actually at about 0. Kind of depends, though, because people make up all kinds of weird stories and think they see one thing or another and trip over a root and thought it was a zombie hand or, whatever. People are stupid. So anyway, that's the Pokemon Go graveyard story-ish. Not much of a story. I just wanted to mention it and get your take on it, because I'm wondering how many people give a crap about graveyards versus don't, as far as scarediness. Because I thought like 99% of people don't give a crap, but after meeting that guy, it might be higher. So I'm asking you, brave fellows, totally not trying to bias it at all. And the tale of the haunted door or whatever, I don't know, the auditory anomaly. Thanks for watching. Definitely go subscribe to my friends over at the Boo Review. Not sponsored or anything. I just like their channel and think it's awesome. And I think they hit like 100,000 subs, but they could always use more because they are just freaking hilarious. Oh, also their latest video is caught on camera, their door opening and closing on its own in the background, or at least that's what they think the noise is. So you can see why I would remember my story too. So go check them out. They have a talking monkey that can draw really good art, so that's worth it by itself. I'll see you guys next video.